In this video, I'm going to make a case for why IG, especially IG thirst trap models, are pretty much cooked.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Now, this is going to be a different style video. I don't talk much about AI. However, I want to talk more about it, particularly because it is something that I find very interesting. AI is coming, right? People don't like this conversation. This conversation might get uncomfortable for a lot of people, but the thirst trap IG models are pretty much cooked. It's something I've realized over time. And what you're looking at right here, as most of you may already have been able to tell based on like micro movements of this model that's on screen, is she is fake. Some of you may be wondering, Chisha, how did you end up looking? I'm gonna have to block that out. There's like some explicit content there in the bottom left corner. Some of you may be thinking, Chisha, how did you end up on this topic? Well, you guys know I have my AI assistant barista, Miss Coffee. I've been building an avatar for this platform for a while, and I finally put a face to it, so on and so forth. But I've learned a few things, and I've realized like these chicks that get online and just post thirst traps are done. They are done. It's over. And the crazy thing is, most people aren't talking about this. And it's probably going to happen within a blink of an eye because they don't. Let me put it this way. If you do anything right now that doesn't take any real talent, and I'm susceptible to this, if you don't plan on working with AI, if you can't beat them, then join them, then you're going to be cooked. And there's nothing more lazy when it comes to content than thirst traps. They get a lot of attention, but what are you doing there? You're not telling some elaborate story. There's no talent that you had to work there to get. If you can pay for the Botox, if you can pay for the BBL, and if you lack the moral standards to get online and take your clothes off, then you pretty much do well. But before I go into why the thirst trap economy for a lot of IG models and chicks who just profit off male attention is probably going down the toilet for a lot of chicks, I want to do something real quick because a lot of people think they can tell what's AI and what's not. But let's see. I want you to play a quick game with me. Can you guess which one of these photos on here is not AI? Which one of these photos on here is not AI? Your 5 seconds. Be honest. Don't lie. Tell me the truth. What you got right. This one is not AI. That's actually a real chick. I don't know any of these people. Of course, some of them, I don't know this chick. I just went online and I found some different photos and I thought this would be a good practice for a lot of people because it is becoming more realistic, especially the real photos, right? The photos more than the videos. How about this? Can you guess which one of these chicks is not AI? You got 5 seconds. Which one of these chicks is actually real? This is the real woman. Did you guess right? Comment down below. I'm curious to know. How about this one? Can you guess which one of these chicks is not AI? Comment down below. If you didn't get any of those last two, you should get this one. Look very closely. They're all AI. They're all AI. Let's talk about the sponsor of this channel, fathershaverights.com. Engaged and soon-to-be married men, a single prenup slip-up can cost you tens of thousands later. Waiting until the last minute or signing under pressure are the mistakes that sink most agreements. My step-by-step guide at fathershaverights.com, built with expert attorneys James Sexton and the lead attorney, shows you exactly how to avoid every costly prenup mistake, all for the price of a couple of dinner dates. Tap the link pinned to the top of the comment section to safeguard your future and join the hundreds of soon-to-be husbands protecting their marriages the right way. But you also have probably seen more online AI models. And if you are a chick who gets online and just posts photos of yourself, and let's say you do give some value in maybe your caption or give some tips to work out, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm talking about like the thirst trappers. They are cooked. They're cooked because you're going against a technology that can study what works, reproduce that in every race, with every variation, a photo or video, and also does not get tired and thinks in terms of like a business and systems and like how can we scale thirst trap. And like for most chicks, they're just like, oh my gosh, boom, take a picture, because they're very attractive or they are hot to a lot of guys and they're commenting down. But if you look at these IG models now, they will take a photo. And there are a bunch of dudes in the comment section who can't tell that these chicks are AI. The more you actually mess with AI and actually see AI videos, you're able to tell. A lot of people really don't even bother to learn. And so people are going to adopt this. And then you have the guys who just don't care. Nothing about this is good, and I don't support anything, but it's inevitable. And I'm talking about lusting and thirsting over women online, right? Something that men should break away from, not give their energy to. And you see a lot of chicks like, what do you have? Oh man, you know what I just thought of? I just thought of the Kevin Samuels clip of him pretty much telling those OnlyFans models that they wouldn't last long. And I think we're at that time now where that truth is coming to pass. If I'm able to find that clip, I'm going to play it.
AI about to put you Instagram models out of business, ain't it? I was on Instagram the other day and I was just noticing how many accounts got these fake AI Instagram models. And I ain't even gonna hold you. You can't compete with them. You can't compete with them. AI done took some of your best of the best looking women and merged them all together and created perfect women. And you got these goofy men in the comment section lusting over AI models. They don't even realize that they looking at a fake woman, a woman that doesn't actually exist. They messing up y'all game. They messing up y'all game. I don't know how much longer, what type of money really will be in it for being an Instagram model or doing thirst trapping on Instagram when you got AI models to compete with. And I would imagine that the next thing they're going to be coming for is OnlyFans. All right.
Right.
And so you're going to have to be competing with AI generated women on OnlyFans. That's a tough market. All right. We sitting over here talking about the white collar jobs is going to be taken over by AI. I don't know if y'all Instagram and OF models was prepared for this to happen to y'all too.
So check this out. All these chicks here are AI, right? They're all AI models. And it's crazy because some people know this. If you go check out this AI creator, Coach Ari Banks, she pretty much just, I can't play this, but she pretty much just like shares generic TikTok content, like, the type of stuff that you hear all the time that just sounds so typical and cliche, like, don't let a man blah, 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 blah. Because once he does, it's the same thing. And to achieve this is very simple. You've got a bunch of other real creators out there who are releasing content. You don't have to follow what they say word for word, even though some people do that, but you can download a transcript of what they said, and then they have maybe an AI assistant that will reword it or come at it from a different angle, and they'll train it to a certain personality type because they know that personality or that persona works. And they'll study you, a real content creator, another chick, and start marketing towards that audience. And they'll slowly start winning a person audience. Look at this. Like, these are real comments. Probably some of them are from other AI accounts, but a lot of these are real. A lot of people don't care that some of these videos are AI. 500 plus comments on here, of people here saying, I know that's right, supporting, taking advice from AI video is crazy, very true, so on and so forth. And a lot of these AI creators are not just thirst trapping, but they're teaching other girls to thirst trap. Like, think about this. You can have like some fat chick know what it's like to get online, log into her Instagram, and be told she's beautiful constantly because she created like a alternate personality that maybe looks like this, and people over here congratulating her because, again, there are people who don't understand that this is AI. Here's this chick here, thirst trapping. You see a bunch of dudes here leaving heart emojis. Like, this is happening. This is happening. Could be some dude over here. And then you have creators, AI creators like these, teaching other women how to become content creators. Check it out.
AI content just got 10 times better. No more boring, static, one scene videos and boring angles. Yeah, those are dead too.
And this might seem like, oh, we can tell what it's like, but this is the worst it's ever going to be. You know, you have this chick over here. I can't play the music. I have to pause that. She's over here with ASAP Rocky. This looks pretty legit. What else do you have? Let me see. Is this music?
You might or might not know this already. Truth is, people don't care what I am anymore. What people actually care about is leverage.
Okay, so you got that. And then there are people who are like using AI as twins.
Let me introduce my...
Definitely AI. If you click on some of these women's photos, you can see that there's like detail on here that looks very, very precise. The real power move in a lot of these, because this is happening, guys, whether you like it or not. And unfortunately, to the IG models who just get online and post pictures like this, cooked. Two things. The power move is when you get a photo like this and you use software, and I've messed around with some of the software before, and you actually add imperfections onto someone's face. That's when, because people look for imperfections in a lot of AI content. And a lot of people have brushed off something as, that's not AI. Why? Because she's got a pimple on her face, and they wouldn't do that. That's exactly what they're doing, right? That's exactly what they're doing. And so the worry that a lot of people have when it comes to AI content in every space is, well, what happens when AI takes over everything? Then the internet would just be a ghost town filled with a bunch of people creating AI videos. And that's part of the reason why a bunch of companies are pushing back on AI automated content and limiting content and not monetizing content that's 100% AI automated. As in, there's a guy who just clicks one button and AI does everything from sourcing script and producing the video B-roll and doing the voiceover and actually doing the editing, and some guy, you know, in another country doing all the labor, and he just produces it and no human touch it at all. Why wouldn't platforms want that? Well, because AI isn't good at one particular thing yet. It may eventually become good at it, but it's not good at it yet. And that is creativity. What you would call taste. And understanding this is very simple. Every successful AI production when it comes to content begins with data that's trained on something a human made that's very successful. So let's say I wanted to replicate the Kardashians, for example, and create like a fake Kardashian family. I'll simply just go study them first, right? Because I would have to know what's working. And any smart business person approaches things from this perspective if they're in the business of content. You got to look at what's working, and your edge could be, I'll make the women prettier, or you take over a certain niche. Instead of them being whatever race they are, I'll make them black, or I'll make them Hispanic, or I'll make them Indian, whatever. And you may notice certain things like, hey, they don't know how to pronounce words that well, and I'll remove that bad pronunciation of words. Or this is a big one, they only post once a day. I'll post 10 times a day. And that done over a consistent amount of time is how you win, right? And this is happening right now. Groups of people coming together, looking at a particular industry within content, looking at certain chicks who just post thirst traps. And they're going to create replicas of them. Now, what happens with everybody who's performing well is just copying another person. Well, then you lose that element of creativity. And AI is terrible at being creative. In fact, it doesn't do it at all. It's very bad at it. And more precisely, when it comes to content, that's what's called taste. The taste of someone's channel, the taste of the vibe of, you know, their audience, everything. Understanding that is what becomes the commodity. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Some more people crying about, oh, you know what? Let's check out this video of Kevin Samuels talking about OnlyFans models. I think this is on Vlad. Will I get a copyright strike?
Well, you're on a podcast.
Hopefully not.
And on the podcast were a few girls who did OnlyFans.
And in the process of the conversation, two of the girls stormed off.
Yeah.
Explain from your point of view why they stormed off.
They stormed off because the truth was too much for them to handle. They were good with it when they were getting the adoration, when they called themselves entrepreneurs. I'm a business owner and this and that. And I just started asking, if you're an entrepreneur, what kind of business? You making this money in investing? Start asking questions. And because they couldn't answer the questions, they found it offensive. They found it offensive that a man could even. One woman said, "Who are you to judge? You shouldn't, a single man or women, you shouldn't judge what women do." It's like, well, wait a minute. Men built the world that we live in for the most part. Yes, women have had their contributions, but what average men have done, we're in New York City. These buildings were not built by Wall Street executives. They were built by blue-collar construction workers. The very men that these women look down upon today, but they'll take their OnlyFans dollars. So a lot of these women, when you just ask questions about what you should get, what you should deserve, they don't feel as though they have anything to give or they don't have to answer to a guy, anything. And I say, okay, fine. But we start having that conversation. And when I asked, what are you going to do when the OnlyFans money dries up? Because I related it to the adult industry. There's always going to be a hot new starlet. You know, Jenna Jameson was she changed the game. But there was a time where she became, not a has-been, and she wasn't a hot new girl. And just like in that business, they go from doing certain kind of scenes to where they'll start doing other kind of scenes, different kind of scenes. I'm like, that always happens. Strip clubs, adult dancing, it always happens in a sexualized business. What are you going to do? They got upset because it was like, well, that's not going to happen. I'll always be hot. I'm like, well, no, you won't. And if you're not planning for this, or if OnlyFans stops, the whole quote was, when OnlyFans ends, Subway will be hiring.
And that became a pretty popular quote from Kevin Samuels. Subway's hiring. That was in 2021. What a time, man. What a time, man. Yeah, and here we are now, and who knows how it comes about, but nothing lasts. Things always change, and either you adapt. And Kevin Samuels wasn't saying you guys are screwed. He was saying you're screwed if you think that this will always continue, if you think that you always have money. Who could have predicted in 2021, unless if you had some type of insider information, that AI would be taken over at the level it's at now? And if you think that AI isn't going to replace pretty much all OnlyFans models, or they're not going to replicate themselves, and many of them are just not going to stand a chance, then you really are misunderstanding this whole thing. What am I saying? What's the bigger picture here? Attention is a drug that a lot of feminist modern women have been drunk on online for a while, bragging about it. And it's been something that they have enjoyed. I believe AI is going to put a serious end to that. I'm not just talking about the ones that are in adult content. As a man, the most empowering thing you can do, and in case people are like, Chisho, you're following these pages, I'll tell you why I'm following them. I believe AI is inevitable. I take the approach of, I'm going to show you here. I take the Elon Musk approach of, hey, if we can't beat this thing, then maybe I can create an alternative that people can trust. And that's why I created Miss Coffee's channel here, which I'm currently working on. This is her, right? Boom. I had to study and see how people are doing things. I wish you guys could zoom. Oh, we could zoom in right there. And see how people were, she said production, see how people were creating these AI avatars. But it taught me how to create an avatar of Miss Coffee. The look of her is inspired from my wife. And I'm plainly stating here that she is an AI assistant avatar based off the coffee pot. I will feature in her videos. All right, it says, I'm Miss Coffee. I'm the digital personality and AI assistant avatar for the Coffee Pod, hosted by Chisho Zed. I'm here to bridge the gap between high-tech production and raw, honest conversations, our community values. I talk about dating, marriage, family, fatherhood with the focus on clarity, over noise, no yelling, no sugarcoating. Every video is collaborative effort. So just the same type of like tone and approach that you guys see Miss Coffee in when we talk, when she's speaking sense 90% of the time, is what you get here. And what I anticipate is people will feel more comfortable watching a video knowing that the values and the way that the actual AI is trained on the values of a content creator who they already follow, and they don't plan to hear any BS that sounds crazy, right? Of course, this would be like simple content, nothing that's like really deep, and I'll be a collaborative part of each video. And so that's part of the reason why I know so much now, because I built my own. But I do find it really interesting that a lot of people aren't talking about how these AI models are going to take over the IG models currently still flooding the Instagram, who are real. You see a few videos like this one.
I came across an AI influencer for the first time, and I am like genuinely disturbed. What's most alarming is that based on the comments, majority of her followers have no idea that she's AI. And let's take a look together.
So there's like music there. So they've got this AI there dancing, and she's like surprised, like people can't tell that this AI model is fake.
Influencer doing bad lip syncs and dances, but like, how are we not seeing that that's clearly AI? This is what we're killing the planet for? We're polluting Black communities for this? But we can poorly imitate them to try to make a quick buck? Ew.
So models will definitely be replaced by AI as well. So earlier this year, H&M actually announced how they're now using, digital twins for, a lot of the modeling that they'll be doing for their clothing, their brand, etc. I know Mango and Levi's as well has already kind of started moving in this direction, and they've made some announcements in the past. But it's both a replacement, but also opportunity for models, for those who think innovatively, to figure out, okay, well, how do I rent a digital version of myself to other people where it's your likeness, it's your image, you're the owner, but you're licensing it out to different brands. So I think, like, when we talk about replacement and AI taking jobs, yes, that's absolutely going to happen, but it's also creating opportunity for you to think about how do you scale yourself in a more unique way when it comes down to using AI agents, digital, twins, and etc. So it's just interesting, but definitely the modeling industry.
They are starting to use AI to take over modeling, and Vogue just had their first AI model cover 2 pages, which is absolutely terrifying that this is already happening. If you're a model like me and you just started out, I don't think it's gonna fully take over yet, but honestly, no one wants this. Like, you could tell that it was fake. Even though it kind of looked real, like, you could still tell this model was too perfect to be real. And part of what makes modeling an art and a craft is the uniqueness of a model. And people look for that. And specifically, if there's a model that people are obsessed with, like Bella Hadid. And that's why I don't think AI is fully going to take over. I feel like there will still be supermodels. But for models starting out, this makes things a lot more difficult. Anyways, I hate that AI is already taking over modeling. I absolutely hate it, and I hope this doesn't take my job.
This AI and Vogue thing, who do we talk to? Who do we talk? Do we dip on our agencies? We're done. We're done. The rates have already been so low. The rates from like when I first started to now, babe, it was already giving like, and I know that everyone's going through it, and I'm sure these companies are too, like financially. But what do? They have to pay $0 to a person. They have to pay like someone to produce the image, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not paying thousands of dollars to a model or thousands of dollars in her travel, babe. Someone asked if I wanted to sell my face to AI. I'm scared. I don't want to do that. I'm going to be on like a weird billboard and I'll be like, I didn't know I was modeling for Diva Cups. Like, I don't want to do that.
Let me see. We have somebody else here.
You know what gives me the ick?
Who gives you the ick?
Seeing grown men I follow on Instagram liking half-naked AI chicks dancing on Instagram. If it was a real chick, I would not. But like, I don't know, it just gives me the ick that it's AI because 2 reasons. 1, is this a grown man thinking that this is a real chick? Because that's embarrassing. And then 2, if they know it's AI, why are you liking it? Why are you watching that?
Of course, guys, curious to know, what do you think? And also, would you guys appreciate if I got more into like AI news and spoke more about AI? Comment down below. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.
Shout out to one of my haters who said they can't believe I was ever a model. I'm just so average or below average. And, you know, just can't believe it. Well, let me tell you, usually just hit delete, like don't mind these people. Delete, delete, delete. But one thing that the hater did say was the work I'm doing is pointless. The coaching, the advising, the getting, pushing and leveling up people, because we're going to be completely replaced by AI. Let's get into it. Love when these haters write me. I love it. It impassions me. We are not going to be 100% replaced. Now, could we? Yes, there's always a possibility, but I don't think so. I'll tell you why. People want real people, okay? I'm not trying to be a fashion model. I never was, okay? I modeled for almost 30 years. Yes, I did some fashion modeling because I'm 5'9", blonde hair, blue eyes, 34, 24, 34, my measurements, right? But I didn't try to be. What people want to see in commercial print, even beauty now, especially with older models, I'm 45. If you have a line or wrinkle, they're going to give you that serum and then they're going to show the before and after. They want realness. And as much as we may be attracted to the AI, at the end of the day, when it comes to modeling, people are always going to want real. Why are we attracted to influencers? Why are we attracted to actresses? Why are we attracted to models that come on here and share their story, their struggle? We want to learn about the struggle. How are we going to do that with AI? Is the AI model going to have a struggle? Is she going to have a pimple? I don't think so. So what I recommend my clients to do is educate yourself about AI. Educate yourself about things that scare you or that you're not familiar with. I am taking an AI course now just because I want to understand it. I have several apps of AI so that I can learn. Educate, educate, educate. I will do this with my son who's young. I will tell him to educate himself about this, and it's for all of you that I'm coaching. I think it could greatly enhance the world of modeling. Now, will some companies turn to it? Possibly, but at the end of the day, we want to see real athletes. We want to see real people. We want to see real moms and dads. We want realness. And as much as we may find this all very fascinating, we want to see people in the raw. Always fashion models walking a runway. How are we going to have AI fashion models walking the runway? I don't know. Maybe we will. Who knows? But we're still going to want to see those fashion models. And I think it will greatly impact the fashion industry and change it, because let's face it, the only thing certain about fashion is it's always changing. So yes, it will change it. But at the end of the day, we're going to want to see the real model, her struggle, her pounding the pavement, her ups, her downs, just like we do with influencers, just like we do with actresses, just like we do with athletes. We are craving realness. Realness. Take off the filter. Well, I have no filter on right now. Be yourself. We want to see people put on their makeup. We want to see the before and after. We don't want fakeness. At least I don't. So I don't think we'll be replaced 100%.
I'm so pissed right now. I just watched a whole entire skincare routine from a black girl, a little glass skincare routine. Watched the whole thing. It was about 3 minutes long. Just to find out that all that fucking AI, like, this shit is getting out of hand. Then I saw another one. Then I saw another AI clip where the girl was like in a brand new G-Wagon talking about some, and they're black girls. Like, I don't know why they keep being black girls, but it's a black girl in a G-Wagon. She was like, I ain't worried about no man. God did. And y'all, I thought that was so real until I went to the comments and I seen like it was AI. Like, who is making these AI little clips and posting them on TikTok? Like, where are they coming from and why are they so real? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm scared because I'm starting not to realize. But like, you can notice little stuff. Like, it'll be little stuff that like glitch, and that's what'll make you realize that it's AI. But then, how you know I'm not AI?
Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link into the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.